What's up, guys? This is life. Look, you could say that that's life and that's death. But the reason why this is because I draw the lines between them. That's it. And what that means is, so for example, this is the truth and this is fiction. But there's no fiction if there's no reality, and there's no reality without fiction. There's no good without bad, bad without good, or there's no white without black, and there's no white without black, or black without white. It's just a cycle, day and night. Bruh. You know what? That's life. It's because of this. What? So, if I try to draw the infinity symbol, it will be like this, right? And honestly, the infinity symbol is like in 3 dimension, and the infinity symbol is just this. Like, I wish I could have like, I don't know, a 3 dimensional thing that could like look, because infinity is just this. It's just 2S. That's it. S. That's an S, right? But if I flip it, it's an S. But if I flip it, it's an S. But if I flip it, it's an S. And that's what Kundalini is. Okay, how am I gonna draw two serpent? You go right here. And go right. That's Kundalini, right? But that's also DNA. And what's DNA? It's you. It's what makes life. So this is the same fucking thing. Like, and no matter how you try to flip it, it's the same thing. Look, the black is here and the white is there. But if I flip it, the white is here and the black is there. That's life. This is life. Why this is life? Is because everything is a fucking duality. But there's no but look, even the word fuck. Okay. Okay. White and black. Black and white. There's no black without the white, and there's no white without the black. There's no life without death. There's no love without hate. There's no men without women. How could you apply it to your real life? Okay. Let's say, bro, no matter where you are in life, remember this. Okay? If you are suffering, remember that the only reason why you suffer is to feel pleasure. And there's no pleasure without suffering. And if you're not feeling pleasure, it's because you're suffering. That's why I said in the beginning, everything is a duality. Everything is a duality. And even if I write the number 2, that's basically a snake. That's a snake, bro. Yo, that shit is a fucking snake. Man, that shit is a snake. That's why in Egypt, pharaohs had snakes on their crown because it represented their serpent wisdom. And why serpent are wise is because of this or this. You know what that is? It's two serpent making love. When serpent are making love, that's what it looks like. Bro, you can Google it or watch a YouTube video. It's literally this. Man. And serpent or snakes are so simple. They're just this. This is a snake. This is a snake. It's just a line. Like example, if you're God, right? Like the first being you're making is like a being like this. This is a snake. Like, bro, this is a snake. Like, let me draw for you the yin yang again. Okay. This is snake. This is a snake. Right? Fuck. And if okay, this is a S, snake. But if I do this and I put black here, yeah, you get the point, right? It's the yin yang. Or that's a snake. But if I'm like finishing, fuck, what can I do this? I'll do this. It's two snakes being in harmony with each other. Look, this is a snake. Oh shit, okay. Let me explain something. This is a snake when it's making love with another snake, but it's also a snake when it's fighting another snake. I'm sorry. This exists because somebody watched a snake. And the reason why the number 2 looks like a snake is because it's duality. Duality. What's the duat? It's the, if I remember correctly, it's like the underworld in Egypt, mythology. So that's something to think about. And who's the ruler of the underworld? It's, well, you could say it's Anubis, but it's Osiris. And who is Osiris? It's the serpent. Everything is a cycle, bro. Serpent fucking wisdom, nigga. Serpent fucking wisdom. Bro, I don't even understand why they told you in the Bible that the snake is the fucking bad guy. Oh, you know why? It's because the snake give humanity the knowledge of good and evil. Yo, fuck, man, that shit is fucking deep, bro. What the fuck? Yo, that shit is deep. Bro, black. Yo, what the fuck? Bro, this is amazing. So, yeah, to continue on the subject of yin and yang, right? So, basically, there's no good without bad and bad without good. So, a character that really portrays this is Zuko in Avatar. And look at his face. What does Zuko have? He has a scar on one side of his face, and it basically looks like that. You see the resemblance? So, the reason why he portrays this so well is because in the beginning of the show, Zuko is supposed to be like the bad guy, but or the antagonist because he wants to capture the Avatar, and the Avatar is like the one who's going to save the world. And the reason why he has a scar on his face is because of his father. And the father is like the main villain of the show, basically. So, the main villain of the show scarred his own son because he because his son doesn't like. Okay, the reason why he scarred his own son is because he he doesn't accept who he is, and the reason why he doesn't accept who he is because he's not like him. Like, this guy has compassion. He's not a villain. Like, the first time you see him, you think, oh, this guy is a villain, blah blah blah. But when you watch the whole show, he he transforms himself into one of the good guys. If you watch the show, you get what I mean. I don't really need to explain like his whole journey and shit. But let me give you another example. Two-Face, Batman, one of Batman's villains. And who is Two-Face? Well, he's a guy who's obsessed with duality. And one of his most famous quotes is, "You either die as a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain." But in the movie The Dark Knight, the reason why he becomes Two-Face is because of the Joker. Joker. Joker, Joker, Joker. The pale man with the white face. And Two-Face is also Batman's. Well, Harvey Dent was Batman's. Well, he didn't know Bruce Wayne was Batman, but he was one of Bruce Wayne's best friends. So he his ally. Harvey Dent is Batman's ally. And Two-Face, like the other side of Harvey Dent, was the ally of the Joker. One of the reasons why the Joker is one of the most fascinating characters of all time is because he represents the yin and yang, just like how Batman represents the yin and the yang. Those guys are the same. Why? Because those two guys are broken men. He is a broken man because he saw his parents murdered when he was a child, and he felt powerless. And because he didn't want nobody to feel the same way, he trained for years and he's fighting crime. The reason why the Joker is because his life was he was living a horrible life. Like, the only thing he wanted to do is to become happy. Is to be happy. That's all he wanted. But sorry, I'm trying to remember the movie. So basically what happened is, because he felt powerless, Look, bro. The reason why he became Batman is because somebody shot his parents with a gun. The reason why the Joker became the Joker is because he murdered someone with a gun. He murdered someone because he felt powerless, and the only thing like he felt like he needed to do is to grab his gun and to kill the guys who was beating him. The reason why he became Batman is because he felt powerless that somebody took somebody else's life. You see? It's the yin and the yang. He's serious. He's funny. He's good. He's bad. Black, white. What else? Hero, villain. He's colorful. He doesn't really have colors. He's the Dark Knight. Like night, day. One cannot exist without the other. And another thing in the movie is that the reason why Bruce Wayne parents got killed is because of the action of the Joker. But the reason why the Joker became the Joker is because of his father. All stories are is just yin and yang. That's it. When you're a child, you like idolize the heroes. But when you grow up, you understand the villains. So, another villain that portrays this is. Fuck. Excuse me. Is Syndrome from the movie Incredibles. You look at his design. What is his design? It's this, bro. And how did he become the villain? Is because he worshipped Mr. Incredible. But that's not Mr. Incredible. It's because oh shit, bro. This image is deep as fuck. Okay. The reason why this guy became this is because as a kid he idealized Mr. Incredible. He idealized his favorite hero. But when his hero reject him, he became so his love towards the hero has became hate. The only reason why he exists is because of Mr. Incredible. Bro, honestly, I could go on and on with those examples. How that shit is super deep. Even with God, let's say God of the Bible. God versus. So yeah, even with God, right? So most people will say, "Oh, he's the good guy, and he is the bad guy." But why he is bad? What's the reason why? What's the reason? It's because in the Garden of Eden, if you, that's just the Bible and shit. I'm not Christian or anything. It's just for the sake of my explanation, alright? So in the story of Genesis, there was Adam and Eve. Then there was the serpent in the Garden of Eden, who was the devil, who taught Adam and Eve the knowledge of good and bad, and he was punished for it. But the only thing he was trying to do is to free Adam and Eve from him. Bro, I'm not trying to like convince you to be like a fucking Satan worshiper. It's just so it's just to put everything in perspective. That's the point of my video. It's like everything is just a fucking perspective. And this is one. There's no true duality. That's one and that's two. 1, 2. I already told you this is a serpent, but this is a serpent too. But this is one serpent. This is one serpent. There's no two. There's no two without one. Look. There's no two without one. So, how do you love somebody? What's the most powerful way of showing your love to somebody? Sex. That's a penis. Let's say that's a penis, right? So what's sex? You're taking something and putting inside somebody else's body. What's the most powerful way to hate someone? Stabbing him in the heart. And how do you do that? You take something, you putting it inside somebody's else. It's the same fucking thing. Just how when snakes are making love, it looks like this, and when snakes are fighting, it looks like this. It's the same thing, bro. let's go back again with God and the devil, right? So let me give you this perspective. So let's say you're God, right? You're the good guy of the story. So because you're God, so what does he represent? Order. What does he represent? Chaos. So because he represents order, he represents control. And because he represents chaos, he also represents freedom. But again, so that's one thing I don't understand about the Bible. How? So God is a jealous God, right? Because you're only supposed to worship him, but how can he be jealous if he's good? Because jealousy is a sin, right? Jealousy is supposed to be a sin. But how can you sin if you're good? So it doesn't make sense. And how? And another thing, you're supposed to fear God, not the devil. You're not supposed to fear him. You're supposed to fear him. But what is the opposite of fear? Is love. But why should I fear him if he's the good guy? I should fear him because he's bad, right? Like what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. That's why some people said the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled was make you think it doesn't exist. But in reality, the greatest thing the devil has, the greatest trick the devil has, the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled was to make you think he's God. You see? Everything is upside down in this matrix that we live in. Right? So they tried to demonize the serpent in the Garden of Eden, but the serpent, he's the one who freed us. He's our savior. He's the one who saved us from the cage that was the Garden of Eden. But he's the bad guy? Fuck no. But so they told you in the Bible the serpent was the bad guy, but in every indigenous culture, the serpent is worshipped. Look, China, serpent, dragon, same thing. What else? The Mayans worship the serpent. Of course. In Egypt, they worship the serpent. That's Osiris, the serpent. But okay, let me do Pharaoh. What does he have in his head? A snake! See? They told you you're supposed to eat meat to survive and to... They told you you're supposed to eat meat to survive, because if you don't eat meat, like, you'll die. Of course, everybody knows that's not true. Like, you don't actually need to eat meat. But the reason why it's wrong is because you're going... I'm not... Fuck good and right. Fuck good and wrong. Alright? It goes against the cycle of life. So, because to eat another animal, you have to kill it. But you don't need... So, how... Look, riddle me this. How can something dead give you life? How can something dead give you life? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, bro. That's why you have to stop eating meat and eating dead shit. Because plants are alive, man. But you might say, oh, but if they are alive, isn't it bad because you eat them and you kill them? Like, no, because life gives you life and death gives you death. And plants and fruits and vegetables are meant to be consumed. Like a fucking banana doesn't need you to eat the banana. Like, if nobody touches the banana on the tree, it would just like fall off and give back the nutrients to the tree, so the tree could grow another banana. So yeah, let's talk about Spiderman right now. So Spiderman, see his face? Look at his eyes. Look. This, it's this. Like, it's literally two white. I think that's the yin, yeah, that's the yin. It's two yins. And why does Spider-Man wear a mask? You might say, oh, it's to protect his identity, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why. But the true reasons, and Stanley confirmed this, is because he's afraid. He's afraid. That's why he wears a mask. Because it's just a teenager who's afraid. And that fear gives him strength. Again. So, let me show you a proof. So that's from the movie Spider-Verse. So, what he's about to do is to jump. Take the leap of faith. Why? Why is it called a leap of faith? Because Miles has seen Spider-Man get killed, and he feels responsible for this, and he's afraid that he might not, what's the word? He's afraid to fail, basically. He's afraid to fail. So he's afraid. So now, wait, let me skip. part where he puts the mask. Fuck. Sorry. Yeah, there. He's about to do the most scary shit he's ever done in his life. Jump from a building. That's the thing that Spider-Man shouldn't be afraid of, right? Because he swings around buildings like every day. But that's a big deal for him because he has never been Spider-Man before. So what he does, he puts the mask. He's afraid. Bro. He's super afraid. The proof? Look. Look at the glass. The reason why the glass shattered is because he can stick. Like, he can stick. Like you see, he can stick to the wall because he's Spider-Man. And how does he stick? He stick because he puts pressure like in his fingers to stick. But because he was afraid, he couldn't like let go. So he shattered the glass. And he's falling, but he's not really falling. He's rising. Look. He's falling, but he's not really falling. He's rising. He's rising. Let me show you the rise just because that shit is so amazing. Yeah. It's falling. Now it has the confidence. Like, okay, the only thing I need to do is because I'm Spider-Man. Look. Now he's swinging around like Spider-Man. Look, he's still afraid. He's still afraid. He's still afraid because he's running in the streets where he's comfortable. But and look, not only he's running, but he doesn't let go of the web. Look, I think that web. Okay, no. That's not a web. Look, he's not supposed to hold on to that web. He's supposed to shoot another web, but he doesn't want to let go because he's afraid. So he's running, and then when he has no choice, he lets go and he runs. And he shoot another one. He failed. He tries to shoot one, and he's just running. But that's not what Spider-Man does. Spider-Man swings. And he's running on the buildings. Now he's swinging. He's still running. The reason why I wanted to show you this is because the thing that scares you the most is probably the most amazing thing you could do. Like that's the thing he fears the most, is to jump. But if he doesn't jump, he's not Spider-Man. But if he jumps and he swings, he's Spider-Man. Look. That's the same thing. He's rising. He's not falling. So the thing that scares you the most will make you amazing. Just like Spider-Man. The reason why I was inspired to do this video is because I was depressed. I was depressed. Like couple hours ago, I was just like, I felt like I wanted to give up on everything. Like, cause I don't know. I just felt like I was just tired of not being able of not doing what I wanted to do, and I was like sick and tired, basically, of being powerless and hopeless. But hope is something you give to yourself. The same thing with power. Hope is power. Hope is the thing that keeps you going. So, for example, when you're doing push-ups, right? That shit hurt. But then, so yeah, with the push-up example, right? That shit hurt. So let's say your goal was to do 50 push-ups. Your first 10 push-ups are easy, but the more push-ups you're doing, the more difficult it gets. And at 40, you're like, man, that shit hurt like a bitch. I don't know if I could keep going. But you're doing it anyways because you you're just pushing yourself. Literally. You're pushing yourself to accomplish your goal. Then at 48 you're like, man, I can't do this anymore. I can do this. I can't do this. But you do it anyway because you have hope that you can do 50 push-ups. Then you are 49. There's one left. There's just one left. You did 49 push-ups. But the last push-up is the hardest push-up. But you're doing it anyways. The pain is the last push-up is the most painful, the most difficult, the slowest push-up. But when you do your last push-up, you feel amazing because you just accomplished something that before you thought impossible. So yeah, let's talk about the movie Spider-Verse more. The only reason why he exists is because Spider-Man Peter Parker died in the beginning of the movie. Kingpin killed Spider-Man, but by killing Spider-Man, he created another Spider-Man, and that Spider-Man defeated the Kingpin. You see? Yin Yang again, the cycle. As humans, we are contradiction between good and evil. But look, this is a contradiction. This means no, right? But if I do another X, another X, it just keeps going. It's your DNA, bro. You're literally a contradiction. You're good and bad at the same time. You're positive and negative. That's your DNA, bro. And again, what's this? Kundalini. What's the two? That's Kundalini. What is Kundalini? It's the two serpent. What's the serpent? Duality. Dua. Duat. Who rules the Duat? Osiris. Who's Osiris? The serpent. What the serpent represents? Duality. Dua. What is Dua? The underworld. Who is the ruler of the underworld? Osiris, the serpent. Yo. Yo. Man.